Hi all, Mithun back with a new video. So this is the second video in our topic like procurement and tendering. In previous video, we learn about what is end user requirement, what is client requirement, and we learn about different type of end user requirements. Then we also know what is pre-qualification, how to do pre-qualification. We detailedly explained all this two chapters in previous video. And so in this video, it's a subsequent video of previous session. So once we had end user requirement and then we do pre-qualification, the next stage is NDA. So imagine if you are a tender manager, tender coordinator, or estimation engineer, or a commercial manager, whoever be. So when somebody told you to do a tender process, so you do, you have an end user requirement, then you do pre-qualification. So next is NDA. NDA is basically non-disclosure agreement. The main purpose of NDA is to ensure the confidentiality of information, because by sending tender document you are revealing your confidential information. For imagine if you are constructing a prestigious villa, okay, so you want to keep the information of the villa very secret because you don't want to enter to somebody, okay, and they participate also. And imagine they won the tender also, but they will, what they do will, they maybe straight away put this information into the, what do you call that, in the social media platform, or maybe they will put in Instagram like they award with this kind of a villa. But sometimes you need to have that confidentiality because you don't want somebody to spoke about your villa until you launch the project into the market. Okay, imagine you are a developer, imagine you are a developer, like your main business is to construct and sell out. Okay, so you will be having some selling point or KPIs for your villa. If it's a high-end villa or if it's a high-end apartment, you will say I have this one with Italian marble, or sustainability development, or quite a lot of amenities, everything will be there, and these are your selling point. So you don't want customer or your customer to know through somebody else. When you launch to the market, or when you put advertisement, at that time only you want somebody to know about this. So that is the main purpose of NDA. So whatever information you sharing with the parties, or with the contractor, should be confidential. And same way you also will keep the information confidential. So the on NDA tender process will be very confidential, because in doing tender process they will be sharing their confidential information, like as I said previously, they will be sharing the resources, their key competencies, everything will be sharing. So whatever you receive, you will keep it confidential, and whatever they receive, they also will keep it confidential. Okay, so that's the main purpose of NDA. So usually you sign NDA for a period of time, like maybe for 1 year, for 5 year, depends on the nature of the project. And sometimes, every project you will have separate NDA. Imagine you are taking a consultant, so sometimes you will take an NDA for 5 years. That will be a generic one. Whenever you have a project, you will use that NDA. But in some companies, what they do is like they will have a specific NDA for all project. Maybe same vendor will have different NDAs. So I have a project in Sharjah, and I have a requirement of a consulting service, so I will sign NDA with that project. Same vendor or same consultant, if when I have a project in Abu Dhabi or some other region, I will send new NDA. So this is the function of NDA usually. So basically ensure the confidentiality. So whatever information shared between you and the bidder, that the client and the contractor, will be very confidential. It will list out. It will be like there will be a format of NDA. Each company will have their own format of NDA, which is already legally reviewed by their lawyers and all. It will list obligation of the parties, like when you sign the NDA, client and the contractor will be the parties. So what are the function of obligation of client, what are the obligation of the contractor, and what if when somebody breach those point, what will be the remedy. Sometimes they will put some damages, they will put some claims, they will put some monetary claims, all those will be addressed in the NDA. So the main purpose of NDA is, guys, to ensure the confidentiality of information shared between each other, whatever client share to contractor, and contractor share to client will be confidential. It will be for a period of time. Okay, duration could be 1 to 5 years, as I mentioned already. So once we have NDA in place, like you imagine you are going to tender for a project, you have pre-qualified 5 bidders and you sign NDA with the 5 bidders. So next stage is a pre-tender meeting. Many of the consultant on urgency and many of the client on urgency tempt to shift this or tempt to skip this session actually. So they find that pre-tender meeting is not required. But trust me guys, this is one of the very important requirement of a tender process. In pre-tender meeting, that is pre-tender, before issue of tender document. Okay, that's the main meaning, pre-tender meeting. Before you issue tender meeting, you're meeting the bidders and explaining your expectation. It will be like an icebreaker, like usually you will, if you have 5 bidders, you will meet these 5 bidders in different time. Maybe in 3 day time, morning you will meet this guy, afternoon you will meet this guy, like that, and ensure like these bidders will not see each other. Apparently after a couple of couple of months, when you do tendering, people will know each other in the market. They will know, like five, who are the 5 bidders, they will know each other for sure. But again, as a client or a consultant, we should be very cautious, like we should ensure like these people will not know each other or will not meet each other. Okay, what we do in the pre-tender meeting, mainly like understanding each other. I would say, like this is me, this is what we doing, this is our business and what we do, and we have a project, like same project in other region. And so this is like you explaining what you are and what you expecting from them. Imagine, I will explain how I used to do. For example, I'm procuring or tendering a contractor for a residential building. So what I used to do is I will explain about myself, like what is my company. So we are a developer, we do development or a residential building in different part of the country. So we do here, we do and this is and I would say in this project, this is just a starting. I have a series of upcoming project. So it could be like an entry for you, it could be like an entrance pass for you. But my expectation is this: I don't compromise in quality, I don't compromise in safety, sustainability, all those things I will explain. But it will be very generic explanation. I will not go deep into details and stuff, because all other information I will include in the tender document. So I don't want to explain one by one. So this is like basically setting out or explain the expectation. So it will help in a lot actually. That contractor will not be confused when you send an RFP. They will not be confused. They know what we expect him in terms of consultant. So if you are procuring or tendering for a consultant, you explain everything to the consultant and he knows what I really looking for. So he will be preparing his bid accordingly. So it's very good, like there is a rapport between between the people. And they also, the contractor, when you call them for a meeting, they will also explain like what is their expectation, what they do, and what is their previous project, what is their experience, everything they will be also explained. So basically in this section or in this step, parties knowing each other. I'm telling my expectation and they are explaining what they're capable of doing also. And above all, in this stage we have an issue tender, we just knowing each other only, because ultimately tender period or after that we will be coordinating each other. Okay, that is what pre-tender meeting is. So in this session I'm finishing with the ND and pre-tender. So upcoming session we have RFP, then we have tender addendum and procedures, then tender opening procedures, then post-tender procedures. We have negotiations and stuff. We have BAFO, LAFO. I will explain those also. Then award recommendation. So that will be the end of our procurement and tendering session. Thank you guys.